How À Bout de Souffle helped start French New Wave cinema. In this video essay, I will explain how Jean-Luc Godard's À Bout de Souffle helped kickstart the French New Wave. But first, let's establish what the French New Wave film movement entails. The directors involved in the French New Wave, or Nouvelle Vague, weren't like their Hollywood peers. Godard and his fellow filmmakers were creative risk-takers and film critics for the magazine Cahiers du Cinéma. They were authors rather than directors in the classic sense, and their films presented a jazzy new energy throughout the 1950s and early 60s French cinema that challenged the establishment to rethink film narrative and technical conventions. One of these authors is Jean-Luc Godard. Jean-Luc Godard started out as a film critic, criticizing mainstream movies that established convention over innovation and experimentation. With no filmmaking experience, Jean-Luc Godard wrote and directed his first feature film in the year 1960. This film is called À Bout de Souffle, which is French for breathless. What happens in À Bout de Souffle? Well, Michel, played by Jean-Paul Belmondo, is a youthful, dangerous criminal who models himself on the film persona of Humphrey Bogart. After stealing a car in Marseille, Michel shoots and kills a policeman who has followed him onto a country road. Penniless and on the run from the police, he turns to an American love interest, Patricia, played by Jean Zeberg, a student and inspiring journalist who sells the New York Herald Tribune on the boulevards of Paris. The ambivalent Patricia unwittingly hides him in her apartment as he simultaneously tries to seduce her and call in a loan to fund their escape to Italy. She learns that Michel is on the run when questioned by the police. Eventually, she betrays him. The police shoot him on the street, and after a prolonged death run, he dies, à bout de souffle, out of breath. Now, how did this movie change modern cinema forever? Godard formulated his much-quoted idea that a film should have a beginning, a middle and an end, but not necessarily in that order. The movie is filmed on a relatively cheap handheld camera. The editing is abrupt and inconsistent, and largely improvised dialogue creates an atmosphere of restlessness and unpredictability. The film's unconventional use of editing techniques and departure from continuity are important elements of the story. For example, in the scene where Michel kills the police officer, Godard uses a close-up on the gun rather than the facial expressions of the characters, making the officer's death seem maybe impersonal. À Bout de Souffle is most known for its innovative jump cuts. Jean-Luc Godard changed the conception of editing by adding a lot of these jump cuts to the movie, with no intention of going to another scene. Before À Bout de Souffle, cuts were used to carry on the narrative. They said, okay, this is the next page in this story. But Godard's cuts broke all the rules of editing and successfully made the movie feel more intimate and real as a result. It gave the audience a sense of being a fly on the wall. Godard's method of work on À Bout de Souffle were purposefully chaotic. He admitted that he deliberately created confusion to achieve a greater possibility of invention. And that is what he did. Jean-Luc Godard invented new film grammar and broke all the rules of editing with À Bout de Souffle, paving a way for other authors to create movies that feel innovative and authentic.
À bout de souffle.
Le meilleur film actuel.